need somebody help, not just anybody help. No, I need someone help. When I was young, so much younger than today, never need anybody's help in any way. Hey everyone, welcome to MT Guitar. Today we're learning how to play Help by the Beatles, one of my favorite mid-era Beatles tunes. I think some of the finest songwriting was during this middle period of Rubber Soul and Rubber Soul, Revolver, and Help as well. I consider part of that middle area right before the true sort of psychedelic phase of Sgt. Pepper. The guitar parts are fascinating. There's a 12 string in this, of course, that John's playing. George's part's really cool and it's very famous. And George had trouble playing that. It's very hard to play, especially live where everyone's all timed together. So it's really a hard riff to pull off. And George had quite a bit of trouble with it with the rhythm takes, and so they decided to overdub it. I'm doing alternate picking. It's really good for your picking technique to be able to do this. This 4 strings down, 4 strings at once is actually an exercise I've done in different ways as well, just to get your technique going. So you have the bonus of it being one of the most iconic riffs in the 60s. A descending 4-note pattern there, down a half step each time, really resolving to a first inversion A there, and then landing on the A chord. There'll be a full tab of this on the Patreon and a chord sheet as well. Really appreciate you checking it out. Thanks to all the patrons there. Right here on the intro, we start with a walking bass line. So this bass line basically starts with B minor, of course. And you can kind of separate it out if you want, even, because George's guitar is quite loud in the mix. Here we have the first chord, B minor, walking down to A. And you're still really holding the B minor for the most part. And then G. But then G walks down to F sharp, again holding the G chord, E, strum that for a while, and then you do the riff. All right, so that chord progression before the riff would be 3, 4, B minor, B, A, G, G, F sharp, E, D major. Now riff, which I'll show you now. So that riff would be 7, 5, 0, 0 from the 5th string down. 7th fret, 5th fret, open, open. And you could do economy picking, surely. Probably what George did. Makes a lot of sense. That would be down on every single one. I am not an economy picker. I do alternate picking pretty much exclusively unless I'm sweeping. So my instinct, although I can do economy if I really want to, but my instinct is to do alternate. Down, up, down, up. And if you ask 100 guitarists, they're all probably going to play it 100 different ways. But this is how I do it. 7, 5, 0, 0 with an alternate picking. I walk down a half step. 6, 4. Do the same thing. 5, 3. Same thing. 4, 2, 0, 0. Same thing. This ends up being an A9 at the end here over C sharp, which is basically a fancy way to say it's an A chord. And then we start strumming the verse. So that would be a little faster, 3 and 4 and. A little slower, 3 and 4 and. Might want to rewind that and play that a few times slow, and then medium, and then fast would be, after the. And when here we go. Very hard. Because you're strumming and stuff too. It's very hard to switch. So just that, nice and fast. 3 E in, 4 E in. Last time. 3, 4 and. You'll notice I'm counting half the speed there because I'm feeling now the quarter note as opposed to the 8th note. Because really this is a 16th note pattern. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right. So that would be something you don't want to rush into. My sweater is caught on the bridge pin. You don't want to run into doing it sloppy because you never worked it slow. So what I would do, it would be this 10 times. It only takes about 10 seconds. Do that about 10 times, then you speed it up 5 clicks. 10 take an hour and move it up tempo, you'll have that riff for the rest of your life if you can move it up. All right, so that's my words of advice on the riff that gives me problems, and definitely George Harrison in the studio at the time, totally understandable. George is an amazing guitarist who pulled off so many great guitar parts in the studio on the spot when they had little time early on. So we strum the verse on an A chord. Now let me just strum the feel and try to match along, but they really cared about the feel in Beatles recordings, meaning the rhythm. So three, you know. A, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, D, G, A, and then at the end the A. So nice and steady. A, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, and then we have a D to G. A, strum, strum, A. It's almost like the rhythm has a certain hook of its own that we need to honor. D, D, G to A, strum, strum, B minor, and the chorus. All right. So A, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, D, G, twice. And you kind of want to do it, you know, no matter how slow, with a lot of feel. So let's say I want to do it slower to practice the chords in time. I still want to be 3. When I was young, there's so much down, down, nice and relaxed feeling. Okay, now we have the chorus, which is B minor. So it's really cool. This song kind of modulates the B minor because John said he was crying out for help in this song, and he wanted to make it sound a bit sad or minory at times. So this B minor chord is really the heart of the chorus. B minor, quite a while, and then we go B, A. Notice I'm keeping the B minor fingers that I can. Can't keep the first string, that's okay. But I have basically a B minor over A. Very common thing to do as a passing chord. Now G. So let's do that in rhythm. 3, B minor. Okay, B, and I do G, here for a bit. Again, walk down, F sharp, B. And then the riff. Now, let's say you're John Lennon, and let's say you're playing the rhythm part you're not playing the lead. Well, you can just play an A chord and let it ring out. So let's say, won't you please, please help me? And then when you say me, you just begin strumming again. So surely if you don't want to do the riff, you can just do that A chord, have it ring out. The lead style part would be those 4 picking patterns and then back into A. That's the song. It's verse, chorus, verse, chorus. In a sense, there is no bridge. There is just the end of the form. It's a 2 minutes long song. It's very tightly composed in a time where getting the title track of the film had to be very short, poppy, catchy, with nothing too fancy probably for form-wise. So verse, chorus, all over. You can play this song pretty quickly and play the whole thing in its entirety. And really, we're just strumming the verse and chorus. So we're going to end the song with my complete demo here. You can play along with it. And you might want to try some chord melody at some point, or you can ask me in the comments below if you want me to do some chord melody on this. Right? It's kind of fun to do. So that would be an option. I could make an arrangement if people would like, but let me know in the comments. I appreciate your feedback. Hope you enjoy this one. This is one of my favorite, just mid-era Beatles songs, and hope you enjoy like I do. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Help, I need somebody. Help, not just anybody. Help, no, I need someone.